checking out a little bit of the London session. Here's the chart setup that I just did a video on with the regular default input. Just got a nice reversal signal off of S1. We made it up to a high volume level on the new MMT key levels indicator. Now we're getting a move back down. Had a nice short after the market open. Had an ebb and flow dot to the downside. First candle of the London Open as well. I haven't connected any of my other accounts. I was just kind of checking it out. And here's a 1 minute chart where I've got the 3 SMA and cumulative delta as the input for the trend flow candles, and then these ADX dots, which are just trend flow candles with ADX as the input using the signal dots. Catching some nice moves during the London session here. We had a few dots to the downside right here at London Open. Had this big key level cluster that we were down below. Candle started turning red. We were staying below the 20 SMA. We had a nice run right down to S1. Plenty of room to move down. No key levels in the way. Also just had an ebb and flow signal on the 5 minute. Taking the break below this signal candle. 72 down to 56. Nice 15-point move down right away. I just threw the ADX dots on this chart. This is the chart with just the basic price input as the input series. I'll show you how you can throw these ADX dots onto your chart. So here I've got my basic instance of the MMT trend and reversal. This is printing the candles, the reversals, the background, the divergences. It's just got the built-in default input series of price. What I've done is I've added another instance of the MMT trend and reversal. I've unchecked everything, the divergence, trend core unchecked, reversals unchecked. Only thing I have activated is the trend flow candles. I've activated the signal dots. I've got a strength of 1. Directional filter is on. I've changed my color for the signal dots to be gold on both sides. Candle outline and color bars is off. Everything is off except for the signal dots. My input series, it's the standard built-in ADX with the default period. Here's the built-in ADX, period of 14. So that's how you can set up those ADX dots that I'm using.
The market is open. 8:30 news brought it down slowly. Got the very beginnings of a new indicator in the works over here. MMT Ultimate Heiken-Ashi. It's going to be an indicator all about the Heiken-Ashi. Some things I've never seen before involving how to measure these Heiken-Ashi candles and apply these measurements to the regular candlesticks. Got a couple more indicators in the works. Although lifetime, there won't be any more than 10 indicators. I have no plans to create anything that I'm not wanting to trade with every day. So I'm not going to have like 100 indicators, just a small handful of what I'm using on a day-to-day basis. And then I'll just keep upgrading and making improvements. Just got a little bounce trade off of London Open there. Bounced down over 10 points. See this Heiken-Ashi indicators measuring the flat butts. It's measuring the wicks. You can have custom sizes for the wicks and the bodies and the distances and all kinds of things. Yellow keeps you out of the garbage, which you can change the sizes of the garbage that you want to have. See, it's catching the bigger moves, but yellow, garbage. It's a work in progress. It's going to have all kinds of features, and these markers will change. Just doing a bunch of testing. Got news at 9:45 and at 10. Here's the chart with the layout that I was showing in the video yesterday with regular price as the input. I've also got some more lines added on this chart from the key levels indicator. I've got a way to measure the peaks and the valleys of volume, the highs and the lows in the volume of the previous session. This indicator will automatically scan high volume and low volume areas on several different time frames. Should have been looking over here. We've had these nice low volume areas up here from yesterday. Just got rejected off of those. Had a bunch of divergence and a reversal signal. Getting some hold up there. See, we're getting some wicks over on the Heiken-Ashi, getting the yellow background. Then when we get the flat butts, turns red again. Nice bounce right off of VWAP. We had the double level there, yesterday's point of control and VWAP. It's had a nice 20-point bounce. See if we're gonna break this level and make it up to the pivot point. We did make it up to the pivot point, got up to whole number. I took a little bit of a short off a whole number. Got out pretty quick, didn't hold it. I've got 4 different sets of logic so far on the Heiken-Ashi indicator. One's printing these green and red vertical lines. See, we get a green vertical line here when the body reaches a certain amount of size. Got a yellow background for when the wicks on each side reach a certain size. I've got dots for when wicks are below a certain size on one side. And there's still going to be a bunch of other features to come. So this is my NQ chart. We just got to hold up right at this high volume area from the MMT key levels at 20,004. We just bounced down over 20 points. This is the NQ chart. This is the MNQ chart. The NQ and the MNQ will have very different volume levels, just like the order flow data for the NQ and MNQ is very different. See if we break above here. We got free sailing up to yesterday's point of control. You notice yesterday's point of control will be different on the NQ versus the MNQ as well. 9:45 news came out a couple minutes ago. No major reactions to that. See, we got all these white neutral candles. Kind of keeping us out of this choppy chop up here. Getting a nice rejection off of these low volume areas from the key levels. Bouncing up back to the pivot point. Nice little 10-point plus move there. Got another rejection from this key levels high volume area on the NQ. Just rejected another 20 points. I was just looking at all this chop in between this high volume area and yesterday's open. Over on this 1-minute chart with the basic settings I was showing from yesterday's video, just nothing but neutral candles the past 10 minutes. Got all this chop, neutral. Got our first red candle. I'd want to see price break back down below this low volume area, below the 20. We do have a lot of congestion though, and there's major news coming up, so just staying out of everything. Also got yellow no-go zone on the Heiken-Ashi. Much more clear sailing to the upside at the moment. Got this ebb and flow signal on the 5-minute. We can break above pretty much where we're at, 8. I usually like to take it when we get the break on the very next candle. Although sometimes I'll take a break a couple candles later if I have enough reason to. Right now, I just do not have enough reason, especially with the high impact news coming up very shortly. We got another ebb and flow signal on this candle, and this time when we get the breakout above on the very next candle, like I like, we get the instant pop. Popped up well over 10 points already. Got yesterday's point of control on the NQ and yesterday's close coming up here. Got value area high from yesterday. The top of the Bollinger Band on the 60-minute coming up as well. This is why I always make sure I've got enough room in between these key levels. We just had so many key levels below this area here. A lot more room to the upside. It was much more enticing to get into longs. Even though it wasn't a trade I personally wanted to take. We just bounced down off of yesterday's point of control. We had these tiny little bodies. We were getting nothing but yellow. Body size picked up. Get a green vertical line. Get the flat butts. Get the green dots on the Heiken-Ashi. I wanted to take a short at this area, but being this close to news, just being patient. I also only got around 2 hours of sleep, so I'm going to be shutting this down early and going back to sleep for a little bit. We got a nice rejection off of yesterday's point of control so far, over 20 points. The news is out. Made it up almost to yesterday's high. Got this low volume area over the past few days. If we can get a little bit higher, might get sucked right back up, back to this ledge at 140. Maybe make it up at least to the center around 115. We made it up to the center of this little low volume vacuum here, like I was talking about. Made it up to like 114. Getting a nice rejection so far. Had an ebb and flow signal on the 5-minute. We broke above, popped up about 20 points right away. Had a lot of delta on this candle. I was kind of wondering if that might be some exhaustion. Got some divergence here. The red cumulative delta candles creeping in. Getting a really nice retracement now. Getting a little freeze in the data here. I hopped in on a short here. All this delta coming in. I think when it's doing the copy trading between two different brokerage accounts, two different prop firms, it seems to cause my system to lag, because I've never had that issue when I've just been trading on Apex just with one prop firm. But I've noticed when I've got the take profit trader and I'm doing the copy trading on the Tradeify, I definitely get some lag in the charts when I'm in the trades. Got to factor that into everything. Just got a really nice bounce right off of VWAP, one of my favorite levels. Just bounced up 50 points in a hurry. I'm going to be done today while I'm in the green. Go catch up on some Z's.
On a side note, the CEO of Tradeify has done a couple of interviews the past few days. Got this one on Joey Morgan's channel and this one on ASFX. If you want to find out more what Tradeify is all about. And also Fast Track Trading just started accepting credit cards. I've been waiting for that before I promoted them, but there's a link in the description for Fast Track as well. I asked Fast Track for a custom coupon code, but they say you have to make a certain amount of money before they'll give you one. So if you want to help support the channel, you have to actually click the link that I've got down in the description.
Hope you got some good ideas from watching how I'm using these indicators and what I'm looking at when I'm trading in general. Thanks for watching. Best of luck in your trading. Have a great day.